Good. How about yourself?
Great.
Thanks for coming in.
Great. Thanks for being here today.
What have you learned as a defensive play caller over the last couple of years, and what do you want to get better at for this season?
Great question. First, can I start off with, I just want to send condolences to one of our guys. He lost somebody really close to him and his family. I want to let him know that we're thinking about him, and he's still, fighting through camp and everything, and it means a lot to us as a coaching staff, and we love him. So I'm into year 3 as a DC. There's a new lesson every day. And it's funny, I was talking to the linebacking core right before I came in here. And the biggest thing I've learned is just self-disciplining myself to the fact that it's not about what I like. Yes, I set a vision for what each call should probably look like, but at the end of the day, it's about them executing. So I gotta put them in positions where they can execute. And I've learned that that's when our guys do best, as opposed to, hey, I know this should work this way, but it might be putting somebody in an uncomfortable situation where they're not going to excel. So every call I make, every defense that's designed, that's first and foremost in the front of my mind.
Coach just talked about linebackers having a ton of speed this offseason so far. What have you seen from that group, and how fun is it to coach guys that fast? Yeah,
it's awesome because those guys are playing at the standard that we've set. When we talk about speed and shrinking the field, it all starts with the recruiting side of it too, though. Because trust me, I know I'm one of the best coaches in the country, but at the end of the day, if those guys can't run and roll from their God-given ability, it doesn't matter. And those guys are talented, and I'm really excited to work with them this year.
Can you talk a little bit about some of your young edge rushers like Donovan, Nito, and Ty Clemens?
Yeah, it's almost the same conversation that we had with the linebackers. Those guys are athletic, man. We feel really good about those guys being on the edge, and we'll be better at chasing things down on the perimeter because of their athleticism. But at the same time, Coach Vinny does such a good job of teaching them technique that they can still hold up versus tight ends and tackles. There's times where we ask those guys to rush versus guards. So there's a lot more versatility and flexibility with those guys than people realize.
What's it like to have Jason Matry and Josh Jabari, like 2 guys you can put anywhere? What's it like for a defense coordinator to have those guys?
It makes my job easier, that's for sure. It for lack of a better word, it elongates our depth, makes us even deeper than usual, because the goal is to have depth, but depth that has experience. And we play football, so guys are going to go down, they're going to get nicked up. But if you don't have to worry about trying to train a young guy that's never played, and you can just plug somebody else that has experience at the next position, so you play your top 11 guys, that's what it's all about.
What gives you confidence that you guys are making progress defending the run?
I'm a stickler about it. That's a great question by you. As a matter of fact, I think you put a bug in one of our meeting rooms. We had a serious talk about it as a unit yesterday in one of our defensive unit meetings. Every meeting, we put up what the yards per carry is. We have a set goal of what that should be. And those guys know, first and foremost, we did a good job on third down last year. But if we want to be even better on third down and have fun and really make splash plays on defense, it's all about stopping that run. So they're very aware of it. I'm very aware of it. I take it personal.
Are you doing anything different this year than you've done in the past in that regard? Or?
We definitely are. There's a lot of things that we're doing personnel wise. There's a lot of things we're doing schematically that will make us better.
Is that kind of hybrid defensive end necessary because of the athleticism of ACC quarterbacks?
Absolutely.
Developing that.
Absolutely. It's a week by week thing, but for us, we make sure we cover all our bases. Number one, when we recruit a kid, hey, is he tough? That's the first thing we want to know. Is he tough enough? If he's tough enough, he's going to be able to play in different situations. All right. Number two, you can't go around it. We have to be athletic. Right. That guy at Louisville can go. There's other guys that can go. You better have guys that can move. So that's just defense nowadays.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. We got to shrink the field, right? And the guys that shrink the field for us are our perimeter guys, our edge defenders, and our linebackers. Those guys are responsible for shrinking the field.
Coach Hafley's talked about having more of an edge this year, both coaching staff and players. Can you feel that? Is that tangible?
All the time. It's the only way I know. It's the way I competed. It's to a point where sometimes I don't even realize it. You know, like sometimes we have skits in our defensive unit meeting, and they'll reenact or try to act like they're what I say in front of the room, and I'm like, wow, I talk like that. You know, so it's one of those things. It's defense, right? By nature, you got to be on an edge. You have to. It's not about being a nice guy. Because if you are, those guys on the other side of the ball, they're so good nowadays, they'll take your heart. And I'm not about that life.
Can you impersonate them?
Absolutely. I don't want to hurt any of their feelings, so I just keep it down low.